This daily market update has been brought to you by Daily Wealth Report. Trading involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for you. Past performance is no guarantee or reliable indication of future results. All advice and education content is of the nature of general information only and must not in any way be construed or relied upon as legal, financial, or personal advice. Good morning, traders and investors. It's Wednesday, the 25th of July, and we've seen the markets coming off in the US and Europe overnight, following the Asian markets as fear over the Eurozone debt situation it starts to heighten up a little bit again, and after some short-term trading where buyers have been in control of the markets, some profit taking is coming to the markets as well. So as we take a look at the FTSE index, it's closed down 34 points or 0.6%, extending a 3-day retracement from its short-term high and closing at 5499. It's coming back down towards its short-term lows here around about 5436, so there could still be a little bit more downside in that movement. The German DAX was also down. It was down 28 points or 0.4%, closing at 6390. The selling pressure that started just a few days ago isn't following the same amount of momentum. It's slowing down somewhat, so potentially we might find it holding this 50-period moving average, but at the moment the sellers are in control, and so we're possibly going to see this testing this moving average again in tonight's sessions. The French CAC 40 was down at 26 points or 0.8%, so it outperformed its European cousins, closing at 3074. So quite a strong selling day there, closing near its low, a little bit of a shadow on the bottom of that candle, but it has also closed below its 50-period moving average, so there's a little bit of fear there that this may extend even further down towards these lows around 3,000 points. In the US, the Dow Jones Index was down 104 points, or 0.8%, closing at 12,617, and it had picked up off its afternoon lows, and it, again, as we've discussed over recent weeks, appears to be in a trading range. So we can see these lows down through here, and then back again in late June. So it's now trading down towards those levels. We'll be looking at evaluating the momentum behind the sellers in the coming sessions, and seeing if that is going to arrest at this 12,400 odd level. The S&P 500 index was also down. It was down 0.9% or 12 points, and again you can see the candlestick pattern that had formed. It's a small body with shadows either side. A little bit of uncertainty towards the selling pressure, so it didn't hold towards its low, so the sellers weren't completely dominant, and that was reflected by the late afternoon, where in the last hour or so the markets picked back up. S&P 500 closed at 1,338 for the day, and on the Nasdaq, representing technology stocks, it outperformed. It closed down 0.94% lower, 27 points at 2862, and this is a bearish engulfing pattern. It's closing below its 50-period moving average and is now starting to trade towards the previous short-term lows. So there's a potential here that if it does break those lows, then we definitely have a strong sentiment towards the selling activity. Subsequently, that sent the VIX index up, and as we can see here, just using a different software to show the VIX index, we have a bullish engulfing pattern, so a large open green candle there. The VIX closed up $1.85 or 9.9% at $20.47, and we're now starting to see that above the 50-period moving average, and reflects that fear in the markets that the markets could be falling a little bit further. So as long as the markets are retracing this VIX index, we'll be holding up above this 20 level and potentially trading even higher. And looking at the ASX 200 for Tuesday, we had seen that there was a mild gain in the markets. We were up 9 points, closing at 4137, and we're looking here at that as being a potential to try and hold above its 50-period moving average. Still got some downside towards that, but with the SPY pointing towards a 32-point lower open today, we can see that that's going to start testing a 50-period moving average, and we could see our SPY, the ASX 200 down back towards that 40, 70, 40, 50 level, which we discussed over the last 2 days in our expectations for a short-term retracement. So whilst, as we mentioned before, there's short-term high lows and short-term high highs, it is a very mild range that is forming there, and is more reflective of a sideways trading range rather than a bull market. So expectations of a lower open today, and we'll just have to see how those sellers persist into the closing bell. That's our summary for Wednesday the 25th of July. We look forward to giving you an update again tomorrow.